Hey everyone, Justin Allen Hayes here, Voices for Voices, TV show and podcast. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all love and support you've given us. We just can't thank you enough to to be uh, to be with us, to support Voices for Voices uh, in your unique way. Uh, we as a lot of people, a lot of individuals, uh we we go through phases. We go through what I'll call, as we're growing up, we have different phases, whether that's hair, dyeing hair, to look a certain way, and adults still do that, and that's okay. And uh, but anyways, like as we grow as just individuals and people, we continue to grow into uh, our unique selves, like who we are. So whether that is I'm tall, I'm short, I I'm too skinny, or I uh, think I weigh too much, or whatever that is, whether that's a tattoo, a piercing, that we as individuals, right? We're individuals, we're human beings. And so we come in all shapes and sizes. And I think that's important as we talk about our show. People come in all shapes and sizes, all kinds of experiences, some that are similar, some dissimilar. Uh, a wide spectrum is, I guess, the best way about wide spectrum, a variety of different opinions, different experiences, uniqueness, and all of us have unique qualities that make us unique, that make us human beings, that make us who we are when we wake up in the morning or afternoon, if we're sleeping in, or if our work takes us into the morning. um, it's important to not lose sight of our uniqueness or goals or dreams. It's very important. Why? Well, as we grow, not only externally on, what we see on the outside, do we grow, we grow on the inside as well. Whether that's muscles from working out, uh, a particular mental health challenge, whatever that may be, we grow. And it's important to embrace that. And that is hard, because if you're like me, and even if you're not like me, growing up, right, we go through these phases, ups and downs, and lefts and rights, and peaks and valleys. And we think we're invincible. We think that nobody can match the knowledge that we have. Nobody can tell us how to act, how to live, how to behave. And that's just a fact of life. I've been there, where I feel like I know everything. I felt like I knew everything. And then I learned something. I learned a piece of history. I learned to be a better listener, to harness my ability, my God given ability. I believe in God, to share, to talk, to communicate to you, to our listeners, our viewers, anywhere you may be, whether you're near, whether you're far. And that's why we as an organization and I as a leader am so humbled at outreach that Voices for Voices has received. And so that's part of that uniqueness. Throughout my growing pains, and I mean, we always think always will have growing pains one way or another. Never, I say never. I would have never, here I said never twice. So, right. Catching myself here finally. It would be hard if I reverse, back 20, 25 years. Uh, which would be a great age for me to be at. But I would have a hard time believing that I would be welcomed, that Voices for Voices, an organization I founded, will be welcome into homes, into airport terminals, airplanes, on in automobiles, if you're a passenger, or even if you're listening, on your Bluetooth to, one of our partners, iHeart, Odyssey, Spotify, you name it. It'd be hard for me to think that I would be able to share my voice, because that's really what we're talking about here with the uniqueness, that you have to believe in something. You got to believe. If you don't believe, nobody else is going to believe. And there's times that are easier to believe, and there's times that are tougher. There are obstacles, there's hurdles. Uh, the weather changes from sun to rain to storm to snow to sun. Uh, and so we're constantly growing. And I've said this a lot lately. And I think I I, I think I just need to share it again. How grateful we are, Voices for Voices, TV show and podcast. If this is your first show or over 240 episodes, you've been with us from the beginning. We wouldn't do this if there wasn't support and individuals that wanted to listen and wanted to watch. We're a small organization. We are. There's no two ways about it. And that's okay. Because as I began to think about turning Voices for Voices into an organization and not just an event once a year, I felt a calling that why am I here on earth? What am I here left to do? I had great times, but very a lot of them are very destructive behaviors and things that happen which didn't happen. Uh, they did, and they do. So we're here today at this time, at the time you're watching or listening to this episode. We're here because of uniqueness, because someone, and that was me, sometime decided that there's a lot of people in this world, 7 billion plus. A lot of people have great experiences, great life lessons, great tips, great suggestions, great inspiration. And to think that we're here today with as many episodes, I'm really reflecting on what all this means. The average podcast, I think, has what it ends up with 5 to 10 episodes, maybe. All right, there's some that are way more than they're in the thousands, and some are in the hundreds, and so that's where we're at. And so just being a human being and talking to you as a fellow member of humanity, there's still time. There is still time to dream. Does not matter how young you are, how old you are. Think big dreams, go after them, have goals along the way that continue to give us encouragement at milestones, because sometimes we have goals that could be quite a ways away. Could be years away, could be months away, days away. And it can be hard, and it can be very discouraging when we don't see results every day, when we don't see a number that we want to see, that we're not seeing and hearing from the people we want to hear. We're not getting the feedback. We're not getting responses. Then I'll, throw this out here is we're unique individuals, unique human beings. And it really just comes down to this. People, organizations, they're for good or they're for bad, regardless of how a justification may come out. That's really what life is. We're either good, or we're for good, or we're for bad. We're we'll use different words and saying, well, I'm a bad person. It's more of, how can I evade? How can I get away with particular actions, things, experiences? Uh, and I'd like to think that our TV show and podcast is just that. It stands for good. And so the uniqueness of me, uniqueness of our board, the uniqueness of all our shows, the uniqueness of and a variety of guests, both small and big, both celebrity and average person like me. It's important to think and to know that we have that decision, right? We know we're unique, and we talked about a few of those, just examples. It's not all of them. We just talked about some, and bringing that uniqueness into the forefront of what is good and what is not so good. And then so we think of like, well, who's the judge of that? And our belief system is God. I mean, Jesus is to judge of that. It's his will to be done, not ours. Things happen in God's time, not ours. And so there is that, from a good or bad, where we can take, I really want to do this. I really want to do this, but I can't. And there's hurdles, and it's easy, it's hard, it's somewhere in between. So I give up. We all have a voice. We don't need to give up. We can believe in ourselves. We can believe in the small things that we do that turn into a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. So good, bad. At the end of the day, God's gonna, be that judge. And so voices for voices, as we've talked about, we have quite a variety of individuals. We share opinions, we share information, we share news, and we leave it up to you, our viewers, our listeners. And that that's the way it is. We don't strong arm people. We don't entice people. We don't force people what to do. We look at politics, right? The most grueling thing is a presidential campaign. Good things are said, bad things are said, false things are said, truth things are said. And we have that First Amendment right of free speech. And so for us to be able to come to you for as many episodes as we have And as we continue, at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror. I got to look in the mirror. We may feel scared. We may feel afraid. We may feel fear because we can't read the future. And those are feelings, and we're allowed to feel. We need to feel. We need to be present in the moment. Sometimes it's hard to do because we're working on a task, and then we're working on another task, and then we get interrupted, and then we go to a third task. We may never get back to that first task. And then that's just how things go sometimes. But don't you ever count yourself out. Don't you ever think you're not good enough. Don't you ever think that nobody is listening. Don't you think that you are alone. You're not. I'm not. What's right? What's good? At the end of the day, before we go to bed, we look at ourselves in the mirror. What do we see? Do we see somebody fighting for what's right? Do we see a person, expression in the mirror? Somebody who is so exhausted because they're working on a project, they're so passionate. It's bigger than themselves. It's bigger than one thing, one person, that it's a state, a province, a country, nation, world. So who do you see in the mirror? And are you okay with that? And so I talked about we continue to grow. We continue to grow. If you don't like what you see, find a way to learn a little bit more about what your intentions are, what you want to do. Why aren't you reaching that goal or those goals? Why aren't you reaching uh, those milestones? Now we might not accomplish every single goal, every single milestone. Like we're not. Our time on earth is so, it's like water vapor. It's like a grain of sand on the whitest beach. We're here and then we're gone. Life is what we make of it. Voices for voices is what we make of it. Sharing, giving voices to the voiceless, giving voices to those who have been silenced or haven't had an opportunity to share their story, because we all have a story, we all have experiences, we all could have a book written about ourselves, we all could have our biography written. So we're all unique, and I come back to There's some things we're similar at, some things we're not, and that's okay. What's important is at the end of the day, you and I can look ourselves in the mirror and have a feeling of, okay, today was a hard day. It was a hard day. However, I was able to do this one thing. And this one thing is in the direction of good. So good, bad, we have those choices. We can dislike actions because right, the tick tock of the clock continues. So it's only a point in time that an event, an experience is occurring. Time doesn't stand still. And so join me, join Voices for Voices, and bringing your unique skills, ability, talents, treasures, and let us help share those. This isn't about me. This isn't about just Voices for Voices. This is about something much bigger. This is about humanity. This is, again, boil it up. What's right? What's wrong? What's good? What's bad? Are there going to be times where there's going to be a toggle in between? But at the end of the day, when we look in that mirror, where is that arrow closest to? Imagine a car that's gasoline, and there's an F, and then there's an E, and then there's a pointer or an arrow. At the end of the day, are we half and above full, or are we less than half and below and closer to empty? Again, none of us are perfect. We pick the direction that most resonates with us. And good outweighs bad. Having a person be able to come onto the show and talk, and vent, and share, and inspire, and teach. I got chills just saying that because it's so hard. It's so hard in the moment to think about these things because it's like that. It's the rat race, right? I got to do this. Once I do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And as I mentioned, you're working on one thing, and then two, and then the third one comes, and it takes a lot of time, and then you don't really get back to thing one. And if you're like I am and don't write it down all the time, might forget it. And it might not cycle through our mind for another day or a month or who knows. Depending on the priority, just how things go. What's the first message that we see in the morning? Those types of things dictate a lot. And I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect here on earth. And so at the end of the day, on my arrow is much closer to the F, much closer to the good. And so that's how I know the Voices for Voices is doing a good deed, doing a good thing, talking, sharing, inspiring, teaching, you name it. And we just thank you from the bottom of my heart, our board of directors, and every single supporter, monetarily or in spirit, or follows, or likes, or shares, or subscribes. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the journey we call life. This has been another episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. If you can do us a big favor, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. All that's free to do. And if you're able to, and you want to, and you're so inclined, we appreciate any and all donations of any amount. We are a 501c3 nonprofit charity organization, and donations are 100% tax deductible. So until next time, I am your host, founder, executive director of Voices for Voices, Justin Allen Hayes. Till next time, be a voice for you or somebody in need. We'll see you.